Shalom and Boker Tov, children of Yahuwah and the truth. I'm going to be continuing on with, I believe we're on video 21 of the Action Besorah, Yahuwah's Redemptive story. Or Yahuwah's, yes, it's Yahuwah's Redemptive story. I almost said Redemptive plan. Okay, so we are on Assassinations, based on 2 Samuel 3:22 through 5:5. After giving his support to King Dawid, Abner goes to rally the elders of Yasharal. But Abner is scarcely out of the city when Joab returns. Abner just left. Dawid had a big feast for him. Abner was here, and Dawid let him go? Angrily, Joab rushes to see Dawid. Don't you know that Abner came here as a spy to find out your strength, and he killed my brother, your own nephew? Dawid refuses to listen, and in a rage, Joab storms out. Dawid may have made his peace with you, but I never will. Joab is furious. This could mean trouble. He wouldn't dare defy the king. On this page, I think it's easier to see if I show you guys the whole thing. Yeah, we're on this page. Sorry, guys. Okay. Fearful that Abner will take his place as Dawid's general, and wanting revenge for his brother, Joab sends a fake message from Dawid asking Abner to come back to Hebron. When Abner enters the city, "Welcome, Abner. Dawid had one last thing he wanted me to tell you. Will you step over here where we can talk in private?" "Of course, Joab." Joab leads Abner to a back street, and there, before Abner can suspect what is going on, Joab stabs him. Shock. Dawid is angry when he finds out that Joab murdered Abner. He is afraid that people will think he ordered the murder, so he calls the people together and accuses Joab. "I am innocent of Abner's blood. May Yahuwah punish Joab as he sees fit." Dawid wants to show his strong disapproval for what Joab has done. He forces Joab to mourn in Abner's funeral procession. But even as King Dawid is not secure enough in his new kingdom to punish Joab, because Joab is the leader of Dawid's army and his nephew. Dawid mourns the death of Abner, but Abner's master, King Ishbosheth, quakes with fright. "What horrible news! Without Abner, how can I hold the throne?" King Ishbosheth's fears are well grounded, but even as he receives the news of Abner's death, 2 of his own army officers are asking the same question. "Now that Abner is dead, what's to stop Dawid from defeating our army and killing Ishbosheth?" "Yes, we're fighting for the losing side, but what if we do Dawid a favor?" The two men murder their own king, then report to Dawid, hoping to be rewarded. Will people never learn? The Adonai does not reward those who commit murder. There's no room in my kingdom for traitors. Guards, take them away and execute them. Though saddened by another assassination, Dawid now has no rivals for the throne of Yasharal. Representatives of the 12 tribes meet to anoint him. He's now been anointed by both Yahuwah and man. So Dawid, at age 30, is finally crowned king of all Yasharal. Hail King Dawid of Yasharal! Praise Yahuwah! I'll show you guys both sides. Okay. Yahuwah's new capital, based on 2 Samuel 5:6-10 and 1 Chronicles 11:4-9. As king of Yasharal, Dawid decides to set up a new capital city in Jerusalem, or Yerushalayim. The good news, Yerushalayim is on the border between Yasharal and Yehuda, so Dawid won't show favoritism by living there. The bad news, it's already inhabited by enemies of Yasharal, and no one has ever been able to conquer it. Ha! Even if we were lame and blind, we could defend this city from the likes of you. Whoever can capture this city will be the commander of all my armies. Deal. That night, Joab and some of his men find the waterway that leads out of the back of the city. Yuck! Crawling through the sewers will be unclean for a month after this. We have no choice. The outside defenses are impregnable. Jerusalem must be taken from within. Surprised by the sudden appearance of Dawid's men, the guards are quickly overcome. Give the order to open the gates or die. The terrified officer shouts the order. The huge gates swing open. And Dawid's army charges through. Jerusalem is now his, and almost without a fight. Temple Dreams, based on 2 Samuel 6-7, and 1 Chronicles 13 and 15 through 17, and Psalm 24, 96, 105, and 106. Jerusalem is now the capital city of Yasharal, but Dawid wants a spiritual capital as well. It is time to give the Ark of the Covenant a permanent home. Ever since the Philistines tried to capture the Ark, it has been kept in Kiriath Jearim. Dawid wants it brought to Jerusalem. Unfortunately, the Yasharites have forgotten Yahuwah's instructions for moving the Ark. As they transport it in an ox cart, the oxen stumble. One of the guards reaches out to keep the Ark from falling and touches it. Ah! He is killed instantly because Yahuwah's law allows only a Levite to touch the Ark. Dawid leaves the Ark nearby until Yahuwah gives him permission to bring it to Jerusalem. When Dawid tries again to bring the Ark to Jerusalem, he pays attention to the Adonai's instructions. He assembles all the priests of Yasharal with instructions that only the Levites may touch the Ark. The procession is accompanied by the finest musicians in the land who play and sing songs of praise to the Adonai. Give thanks to the Adonai, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let the Shamayim rejoice, may the Arets be glad. Sing for joy to the Adonai, because he rules in righteousness. Give thanks to the Adonai, call on his name. Let all countries know what he has done. Sing his praises, seek his face, and never forget his wonders. And this is the Ark that the Ark of the Covenant, the old law that they're trying to bring with them. When they reach Jerusalem, Dawid is so overjoyed that he dances and sings at the front of the parade. Lift up your heads and mighty gates, open so the King of glory may enter. The Levites put the ark in a tent in the center of the city, but that doesn't feel proper to Dawid. He calls the prophet Nathan in for a discussion. It doesn't feel right for Yahuwah's house to be in a tent while I live in a palace. I'd like to build a temple to Yahuwah. That sounds like a great idea. I'm sure Yahuwah would be pleased. But the next day, Dawid, wait! Yahuwah spoke to me last night. He said that his temple must be a house of peace, and you have been forced to be a man of war. You cannot build a new house for him. But don't worry, one of your sons will be a man of peace, and he will build a house for Yahuwah someday. Great is the sovereign Adonai for giving me such a promise. Toda Rabbah, or thank you, O Yahuwah, and with your blessing, my house will be blessed forever. He's dancing. Psalm 96. Dawid wrote these words of gratitude to Yahuwah after hearing from the prophet Nathan. Sing to the Adonai a new song. Sing to the Adonai all the earth. Sing to the Adonai. Praise his name. Proclaim his salvation day after day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous deeds among all peoples. For great is the Adonai, and most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all Elohims. For all the Elohims of the nations are idols, but the Adonai made the heavens, the Shamayim. Splendor and majesty are before him. Strength and glory are in his sanctuary. Ascribe to the Adonai, all you families of nations. Ascribe to the Adonai, glory and strength. Ascribe to the Adonai, the glory due his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Worship the Adonai in the splendor of his kodeshness, or his holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Adonai reigns. The world is firmly established, it cannot be moved. He will judge the peoples with equity. Let the Shamayim rejoice, let the Eretz be glad, let the sea resound and all that is in it. Let the fields be jubilant and everything in them. Let all the trees of the forest sing for joy. Let all creation rejoice before the Adonai, for he comes to judge the Eretz, or the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness, and the peoples in his faithfulness. David's sins. Based on 2 Samuel 11. Word has come that the Arameans and Ammonites are joining forces against us. I don't feel like leaving Jerusalem right now, Joab. You take the army and go fight them. Under David's leadership, Yasharal grows stronger every day. After many years of victories against the Philistines, rulers of the countries around them decide that Yasharal must be defeated. But David is tired of the constant warfare. Joab takes charge of the war. As the fighting drags on without him, David gets bored sitting in Jerusalem. One evening, as David strolls on the roof of his palace. Who is that beautiful woman? Her name is Bathsheba. Her husband is Uriah, a soldier in your army. David sends a messenger to bring Bathsheba to his court. You sent for me, king? You sent for me, O king? She is even more beautiful than I thought. If only I could marry her. The problem is Uriah, her husband. But soldiers sometimes die in battle, that's it. He said it like this. But soldiers sometimes die in battle. That's it. Thinking only of his feelings for Bathsheba, David sends for Uriah. He pretends to be interested in the war and asks about the battle plan. The enemy is running out of food and water. If we just wait them out, Joab thinks they will surrender soon. You are a valiant soldier. Please return to the front immediately and take this message to Joab. Little does Uriah know the message contains his own death warrant. There's Bathsheba. I'll show both sides. Not only that his own king has betrayed him, loyal Uriah, not knowing that his own king has betrayed him, loyal Uriah rides furiously back to camp. Welcome back, Uriah. Did you see the king? Yes, he asked me about our military campaign. I told him of your plans to force the enemy to surrender. He sent you this message. Joab breaks the king's seal and reads, Send Uriah into the thick of the fight so he will be killed. David. Joab doesn't know why David desires Uriah's death, but he is always willing to obey. David wants us to attack at once, Uriah. I need you to lead an assault against the main gate of the city. Attack the main gate? That's the best defended part of the city. What about our plans for the siege? Your king has commanded you. Follow me, men. We have pledged the king our loyalty, and today he asks for our strength. We will fight for the honor of our king and our Elohim. Uriah boldly attacks the gate, but the archers protecting the city wall easily kill him and his men. The rest of the Yashreelites are forced to fall back. And so several brave soldiers die to cover up for David's sin. Joab's messenger brings the news to David, thinking he will be upset at the death of his men. We fought bravely, but the archers on the city walls had the advantage. Uriah and several others were killed. Tell Joab not to feel bad. War always takes some of our best men. Wait until the defenders have run out of food and then attack again and take the city. When Bathsheba's time of mourning is over, David calls her to the palace and they get married. Long live the king! Long live the queen! The people are happy, but Yahuwah is not. Instead of being a shepherd who protects Yahuwah's people, David has committed murder and stolen a man's wife, or Asha. Yahuwah cannot let David's secret sin go unpunished. And this was the page we just read. And that's their wedding. Okay. Next time, we will be reading David's punishment, Psalm 51, Battling Brothers, The Scheming Prince, and that'll be it. Yeah, because that one's longer. Yep, so I try to read about 4 or 5 stories each time. I hope you guys are learning a lot from these stories. They correlate exactly with the scriptures, so I felt like this would be an easier way to teach our children up in the way they should go, and teach them about the scriptures. I love you all. Baruch haba Hashem Yahuwah. I love you all, children of Yahuwah in the truth, parents of Yahuwah in the truth. Shalom.